What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MicroMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to talk about American Cats. This has like a longer title to it, but I'm just calling it American Cats. um, the Rise and Fall of an Empire. I don't know. But it's a documentary, 2024 documentary that was submitted for my consideration. And it's perfectly fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this documentary. I liked it. Um, and its heart's in the right place. Like, that's all I can say is that it's a filmmaker who loves cats and is exploring. She's not American. She's British. I want to say British. Um, it's weird because like I can't even hear her voice in my head, and I just saw this movie. I'm like, I feel like she's not American though, because that's part of her thing is that she brings up that sort of like declawing cats is this like really uniquely American thing that we do. And that's sort of what the whole movie's about is declawing cats and like the damage that it does to them and sort of like the horrifying techniques. And she jumps into, I don't know if you even know, but there's like a legal like battle, like there are people who are trying to make it illegal to declaw a cat uh, in America. It's actually passed in certain states. I think California, New York, you cannot declaw kittens or something like. That's what I picked up from this movie. It did not have audio description, but so I was just picking up what the film was putting down as much as I could. Um, but they seem to be trying to pass legislation. There are apparently some veterinarians who don't even use painkiller when they do it. But in case you don't know, you can't actually just remove the nail. I know it feels like, by the way, think about it from your perspective. If somebody was to remove your nails alone, like that was like torture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they tortured um people, prisoners of war, uh like trying to like pull their nails out and stuff. But yeah. Sounds horrifying, doesn't it? So even in that regard, when you think about it that way. Um, but when you take that out of the equation, it's actually like cutting off the tips of their fingers. And some cats uh, end up with uh, deeper problems because they end up not walking right. They end up trying to compensate for it. Um, And I think California's law is specifically to just feral cats. I think that you can't declaw wild or feral cats. So you can't like just declaw a cat and like set it back. Like some people, they like you can take a cat and get it spayed or neutered or whatever, and then re-release it and keep a feral cat that just can't like reproduce to a population. They are, as the film reminds us, by the way, they are an invasive species to North America. They're not native to North America at all. None of them, not a single damn cat is native to North America. They do not come from this continent. So none of them, no matter what size you've seen, comes from this continent. Bobcats, mountain lions, they don't come here. They're not from here. Um, but they used to use cats on boats. It's really interesting how this actually explores like the whole thing with cats and like how they were used. They were domesticated and they were used to great effect for pest control. And that's why people always used to keep cats around, is because pests. But gradually we've gotten better at our own pest control. So cats just kind of hang out now. And they just kind of, and I guess they tear up people's furniture, which is why we've started declawing them. But back in the day, we never would have declawed them because the whole purpose that they served was pest control. And you want them to have claws when doing pest control. I know there's some people out there who are like, oh, that's horrifying. And it's like, well, that's nature, bitch. I mean, they'd be doing that anyway. Like that's a predator and a prey that happens in nature the whole time, everywhere. Just the fact that you have one in your house to make sure that prey doesn't get in doesn't make you a horrible person. Anyway, um, I'm more of a dog person, but I don't hate cats. I'm not like an anti-cat person. I just like if given the choice, if somebody was like, "Which one of these do you want?" I choose dog. Like if they're holding out a dog and a cat, I pick dog. Um, but I've also had cats around me, so it's just it's fine. Like I've had cat before. It's I like cats. They're fine. So uh it's yeah, it explores the decline and whether or not we should be doing it. And this one takes a pretty hard stance of no. So if you're like pro decline, and it's interesting because it sort of like finds the head of the anti-decline movement and like all of there's a lobbying industry that's for it. That's like pro. That's a veterinarian lobbying group. It's so interesting. I found this immensely interesting. I mean, I know it's not quite the same as like some of these documentaries where it's like, well, how like I like cats. Sure, we should not be doing this to cats, but have you seen No Other Land? You know, like one of those things. But um I thought it was good. Like, I wish more people would see this. I wish it had a higher profile so that we could. The only way that this is ever going to affect anybody is if people watch it. So I'd love for this to have an audio description, but then again, I'd love for almost every single documentary I've seen this year to have an audio description track. God, like all of them, um, I would slap so many audio description tracks on them. Uh, I picked up as movie was putting down, so to use the term unwatchable is tough. Because I'm not sure what I missed. I felt like I understood this movie from beginning to end because she's explaining it step by step by interviewing people, and she goes through the history of how cats were used and how they came to be here and how they were on boats. And they were really important on boats, again because of pest control. Like and people and Indians started trading for them. Like they wanted cats when they didn't know what a cat was, and they they would take cats. You know what I'm saying? Because they were like, "Oh, these things are fascinating." The fuck is this? So, like, there were things that we used in trading too when we came here. So I did not know that, but apparently we are. That's a little piece of knowledge that was dropped in this documentary is that you know when we got here, the native indigenous people were like, oh, what are you trying to trade for? Oh man, you got guns and you got what is that? What animal is that? And can we have it? um well, those aren't for eating. It's not a chicken. No, I know it, clearly it's not. It's a hunter. I like it. Can I have it? um yeah. So fascinating little documentary. I enjoyed it. So kudos to whoever made it. I'm still blind though, and I need audio description. So I'm going to give it a floating grade of an A minus. So it could go up to an A if it had audio description, which it probably would. It could also go down to a B plus. Unlikely, but a floating grade has to be able to float both ways. So, about my official grade is unwatchable due to lack of audio description. Although I really that's such a strong word. I don't. You could probably watch this. I just I'm careful on how many times in a year I give a pass to a movie without audio description. So yes, we could put audio description on this movie. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.